Then Chinchilla Rose, Typhoon Tracy comes back. She was headed, she's regained the lead, she remains unbeaten. Typhoon Tracy from Culminate and Gallantess. Then Pravana, followed by Gullwater. Then there's a wall of horses. Mary's Grace.
Typhoon Tracy winning the 2009 Coolmore Classic, the Phillies Girls Group 1 at Rosehill. Been a staple of the Rosehill Ladies' Day for many years.
Was gone.
Was gone, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Fought back well. Little battler, Typhoon Tracy. Two-time Horse of the Year, I think, in Australia. Beaver, how are you?
Good, mate. Thank you.
We're here for progroupracing.com.au to talk about the All-Star Mile and also the Coolmore Classic Day. Special guest today, we're joined by Trent Weir from Penrith Cricket Club. How are you, mate?
Thanks for having me, boys. Very well, thank you.
Trent, just quickly before we get into it, give us a bit of your background on, I guess, how you fell into the punt and how you treat your weekends.
Yeah, I enjoyed racing from a very young age. Sort of my old man liked a Saturday punt, so I probably got it from him. And in the off-season, we spend most of our Saturdays at the races, so got it from there, I guess.
Awesome. And obviously being involved with the cricket club, any of the boys get involved on the punt every Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a little punters club going there for a bit. Johnny D. Bartolo, Brent Williams, Cam and myself, which went all right for a bit. Now, so Tyron Lydiard thinks he can jump in and be a part of that, but unfortunately, he's got a bit of work to do.
Yep.
He texts me for all the tips, so he's only getting tips from me.
That's it.
So he's got a bit of work to do. So that's it.
He's a very good listener.
How do you handle, so on the cricket field, how do you handle the bet? You just set and forget? Is it sort of you've got no choice, or if you bat and you
yeah, we've actually got a phone
out?
policy now, no phone policy, which doesn't help the punt much.
Yeah.
But sort of get the bets on early. I sort of don't bet as much during cricket season, more so in the off season. So.
Yeah.
Trent's a bit of guru at setting markets and does his own homework.
Fantastic.
There, and so
Have you got your own markets today?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, you can read out some of those as we get into Sydney, I guess.
Terrific.
I will, but we'll kick off in Melbourne. And I guess the other couple of things, any preferred, do you have a preference? Do you use exchange? Do you bet? Or do you keep those that close to your chest?
Yeah, betting late.
Yep.
Betting late into the exchange is probably the best way to go about it with prices.
Yeah. And favourite horse, I guess, who did you first drag you into?
Oh, not so much horses, but probably Cat Kings was one of the first ones, the grey in the pink silks. I was young and out the races one day and I saw her, so probably she was the first one, but I try not to create too much of an emotional connection to the horses.
I think you find I'm a bit the same, you always have that first year or two where you fall in love with a few, and then after that you hate all of them. So you approach
I
it
always get to the stage, if I do find a horse and it wins, then I do everything I can to try and get it beat next start, which sort of can be my downfall sometimes.
Especially if it comes up short. And
Love going around the shorties.
Yeah, awesome. Let's kick off, though. We'll kick off and get through the Melbourne side of the preview because Trent's going to focus on Sydney. So we'll head down to Melbourne where the rail is true at Moonee Valley. It's All-Star Mile Day. Rail's true. They're predicting rain tomorrow. What have we got here? Around the true, Penno. Going stick was 9.2, sheer 13.5. Penetrate on the sheer was 7.1. You got all that, Beaver?
Yeah, I'm good on the penetration, mate.
The track was mowed at 4 inches, which I believe is what they set Sheds Towns to this week, which is good.
I like it mowed a bit shorter than that.
Yeah, so I think it'll play. Concern is if it doesn't rain during the day now, if it may favour on pace a little bit down in Moonee Valley.
Yeah.
But you can swoop generally, and they do a good job with especially Saturday meetings. Make sure you can make ground. With the rail in the true position, a bit of rain, and probably looking, if it does turn up, we're looking off the rails by the end of the day.
Yep.
We'll kick off in race 1 with a 2,500 metre benchmark 80, where we see a few of the Friday night races come together. Where are you kicking off the day down in Melbourne?
I'll pass that, mate. That one's going through to the keeper. These ones, they take their turns at winning, and I won't be trying to bet on any of them.
All right, I'll make a case for Fanciful Toff because, just because it's all this top form ties together through the one that got beaten for us earlier in the week, and I've just forgot its name. The leader, Guns are Blazing. And I thought Fanciful Toff was pretty impressive, and playoffs been backed into favourites, and I don't think it's a horse. So just taking a chance that Fanciful Toff might kick us off in style.
You got more money than me, mate.
We'll talk later. I might need that 50 back. The listed 1,200 metre for the 2-year-olds is race 2. Any thoughts here, boys?
Yeah, I do. I like Scorched Earth.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Went back to Murray Bridge after a pretty good run at Caulfield behind Arcaded, and wasn't disgraced there. Kicked their brains in at Murray Bridge, and expect it to return here. And with the service of Damien Oliver aboard, should get a good run and be too strong in the end.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's 2 chances. Glitter and Gold was super impressive, missing the start by 3, and rounding up was probably an ordinary field, but just taking the Metro form, the Arcaded form we'll talk about when we get to Sydney later, but taking that as the right form for this, it gets control, Oliver, and all the ticks there, and there's not much else in this race. The Hawks horses decide to stay in Sydney. Jump in at any time too, Trent, if you've got anything in Melbourne.
Nothing there.
Race 3 of the 2040 Cox Plate start. We have we see the return of Persanov. It's 5th in the Melbourne Cup. What do you make of this one, Beaver?
Oh, tough race. Really hard to get a gauge. Interesting, Persan starting first up at 2,000 metres.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it a little bit hard to pick, I'm thinking. But I can't really find anything else in the race with any confidence. So kind of just thought I'd watch these ones go around as well.
A stalwart start to the day. I don't want to have anything to do with Persan, really. It's his best horse. First up 2,000 metres. The query, I probably won't have a big bet. I have made a case twice for Blenheim Place, a Palace leading up in the 2 lead-ups and just folding at the end. Might be ready now, 3rd up. Had the run over the 2,000. Back to a more sympathetic track, I think can run better here. What's the market currently? About $9?
Yeah, got a bit better.
I agree with you there.
Yep.
It was coming off the Blue Diamond day where it was quick sand down on the inside as well. So if it can stay dry and get out in front, I reckon it'll be hard to run down.
Great point. It's that day
Should be a bit fitter too.
It'll be fitter, definitely fitness, but that day all bar the first winner, who has since won and I can't even the horse's name, came down the outside.
So won the race last one.
Yeah, but it had track in its favour that day.
Because I think too close to the sun needs it wet too. So if the rain doesn't come, then I think that's a good bet.
Yep, and I can forgive Irish Flame as well. Might need one more, but honest horse. The 1,200 metres Able All-Age Stakes. The sprinters, we see Ancestry back off the Oakley Plate where it led them up in the... Again, that was the day it was off on the inside, actually. Oakley Plate day. Against Pandemic. Beaver, how are you looking at this one?
Again, another pretty tricky affair here. Ancestry looks to get control out in front and probably makes it really hard to beat. Hard to really get a gauge on that first up. So if you forgive that, probably got to be the horse to beat. Main Danger, I've got dollar for dollar resuming.
Okay.
Thought it could run a good race in a field like this. Pandemic, I'm not so sure at Moonee Valley. So that was sort of the way I was leading.
I'm with Ancestry to bounce back. It will posse up here, greyhound around. As we said, the inside was off that day at Caulfield. Likes Moonee Valley. Only has to find the bunny here and probably has... It either crosses dollar for dollar or sits... I think it needs to cross dollar for dollar to probably win. So Jamie Carr might hold the key to the race ultimately, but I think it'll have a start on Pandemic, and unless there's a big swoopers bias in play by then, I think Ancestry bounces back here. Any thoughts, Trent?
No, nothing.
To pass. Let's get to the 5th, Alistair Clark over the year, again from the Cox Plate start, 2,040 metres. We see Cherry Tortoni out of the Guineas. When there's a 250 to 1 winner, you sort of half want to pot the form, but it was probably the run of the race. I think this is not a strong race at all, and I think it's easy on top. I know it's even money, is it?
Yeah, just unders.
To run down Perore, who I found last start, and just coming through the fresher form, can beat these.
Is Cherry Tortoni a bit skinny, do you think? Like it was outstanding last start, but...
I'll tell you once I know how the track's playing.
Yeah.
If it's leaders, yes. If it's not, I think you'll get 5 to 4. You get 220.
Where do you have Green Slam mapped?
It will probably... Well, does it go? It's got to go 40, doesn't it? So nothing going back. I had it outside lead, effectively.
Outside lead.
If it finds the front, I reckon.
But it has led up a Cox plate, so yeah. I think that's a good point. Comanche Brave will roll forward, has done it twice around Greyhound around Sandown, and Moonee Valley. I think it could press on because, like I said, it did lead up the Cox plate.
What about Young Werther?
It's gone. Not a horse.
Not a horse?
It's you can have it. Don't need to worry. I didn't like it first up, and it was okay second up, but it got lapped by they got beat by Perora, who I'm saying is not as good a horse as Cherry.
Yeah.
Did have probably a PR Perora, but probably gets it here too, I think. Grand Slam's back or running line at Moonee Valley.
Okay.
So
Cherry Tortoni it is, assuming they can run on.
any dad boys? Or?
No, move on.
Let's get to two races which I have not much interest in being involved with. The Country Mile Series over the mile, funnily enough, at Moonee Valley. I have not much idea. Have you had a look at this bush form, Beaver?
I have. I got it down to 2, and I'll probably play both of them. Irish Playboy was really good first up. Thought it was really nice run. Again, drawn a little bit off the track, which concerns me, but I expect it to be around the finish, and if it finishes off like it did last start, any improvement can win this. And I like Indispensable purely because it's got one of the trainers that I like following when they get their horses over a mile.
I didn't write down, but I need to find your boyfriend there.
Yeah, that's it.
Paulie Pruska.
Goes good.
Yeah.
So they're the two I'd be playing. Probably 80% on one and 20% chop out on the other.
Okay, and they're all
Irish Playboy on top.
And they come through the most of this race comes through the Ballarat heat, I believe.
Yep.
Or the chances. Two here that I'll probably have something on, and it depends how the track's playing by this day. Both around $14 or $15. Jude Star just coming through the Irish Playboy form. Wide chasing at Pakenham. If it is swoopers, can be in the finish again. I know one you're quite keen on a while back. That Good and Proper, Galactus.
Yep.
And other horses come through that form and run quite well since, and I've just had a mental blank. And second up, Australis, Loves the Valley, will get control of this race. And if it is, again, with Moonee Valley, it's very much how the track's playing. If the rain doesn't come and it can greyhound around, Australis would be a good bet here at double figures as well.
All right.
Anything else outside that? The Gold Reef over the mile again is race 7. 2 wide legs in the quaddie. Again, I was a bit short of time on trying to put together all country form for this. Did you have any, Beaver?
No, thank you.
Trent?
Negative.
Yeah. We'll let the rest run through.
That's awful race.
If you need to, if you're really desperate, and it is playing on pace, Neves will give you a sight. Game 1, Jamie Carr.
Better races on the day.
Like this one, the All-Star Mile, where I can have a bet, and I will have a bet. Good little race, ended up being a good race. It's what do you think of the concept tread of the All-Star Mile? Is it
Yeah.
something to do?
Doesn't really affect me, so
Yeah.
couldn't care less, really.
No. $5 million, Beaver, excite you, or it is what it is?
It is what it is, mate. Look, it's a good field.
It is a good field.
Plenty of good horses in here, and it's attracted a pretty high-quality field. What are your thoughts?
Do you want to go first, or can I?
You can go first.
Oh,
mate.
see if Trent's got anything. No.
Got anything?
Me, I think Mugatu's probably the best horse in the race, in my opinion. Its Cox Plate run was probably the best out of all of these. I don't like Probabile. I think it's overrated. Russian Camelot's first up, and I think Arcadia Queen's probably a bit overrated too.
The chest hurts.
So I'd say probably...
Keep going. That's all right.
I'd say Mugatu probably there.
Probabile's a moral. It returned dominantly first up. It came through. Wasn't the right part of the track at Caulfield, admittedly, but towed these up. Any rain won't be an issue. It should have beaten Funstar in the wet one day in a farcically run race. Has run well in Sydney. Third up last prep. Won an Epsom, sitting 3 wide, which was a very hot Epsom. I think it beats these. I've got nothing to do with Arcadia Queen. I like you. I've never really rated. I know it runs figures, but it's a horse that's had feet issues. It's been vetted twice in the last 2 days after ripping off a plate in work. Apparently he's lame today. If it runs, how can you back it? Happy to take that on. I agree with you. Mugatu, the 4 in the market.
Does Mugatu need a bit further, but is mile best
Maybe.
distance for Mugatu, Trent? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I would prefer it over 2,000, but I just think it'll be too strong late.
Yeah,
It was arguably run of the race in the Cox Plate. So the Cox Plate, so Dragonet started 750, Camelot 350, Probably 10s, Arcadia Queen $7, Mugatoo 26s. Mugatoo and Arcadia Queen both finished alongside each other.
At $12, it's not a bad play.
Mugatoo?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
rushing Camelot first up over 2,000. You probably don't want to be on. Arcadia Queen's got its issues. I like Probable as well.
Behemoth Gate 1 you can't back around Moonee Valley.
Probably doesn't get the 1,600 anyway.
Yeah.
Star of the Seas, not quite sure it's up to this. And Sir Dragonet, question mark.
The only Star of the Seas is going to Quaddie just because Waller doesn't miss a lot in a $5 million race.
He can't win.
I'm with you, Trent. For me, it was pretty easy to do, actually. Yeah, I'm keen Probable, and Mugatoo was the danger. I think Bowman's
I still
gone
think
down.
Probable's probably better over 14, in my opinion.
And absolutely.
Right.
I think Miles sees her out, but she'd like going off the ups and win. And I think third up last prep, the prep before she won the what's the fillies, the Flight or the T-Rose, one of them.
Yeah.
The question will be here is how early do they put the pressure on? You know, when do they take off? Are they going to take off? And
the thing I like the most about Mugatoo's run, it was 4 wide coming forward at the 600 in the Cox Plate. So I think Hugh Bowman will probably sit 3 wide with cover and blend in on the turn.
And the resumption was fine. It was a nice chasing home call out there.
And Probable's probably got to go forward from 10.
No, I think it gets running line.
Yep.
I think Mugatoo will probably have its back.
Because you're going to have... Well, I've got Graceful Glamour leading, Shout the Star, Streets of Allen, so there's a bit of pace.
Yes.
They're all three will want control there. Graceful Glamour could actually end up 3 wide, to be honest.
But where you got Probable sitting?
I had her here, but that's not... I'm saying she gets cover, though.
You got a 4 wide?
Yeah, but no, saying she gets cover from there. Not Zara. Damien Lane will get cover from there.
Okay.
We'll probably just push out the Harrovian because the Harrovian's not very good. Big improvers, Sir Dragonet back, if it is back to the wet, off starting $2.70 in the Futurity, CF4, sorry.
One bad run and you get $15.
Yeah, so I'll probably have a saver on that, but I'm pretty keen if you're getting $4.50 with Arcadia Queen in a race. I'm keen to back Probable. She might be the first horse I've fallen back in love with in a long time, and I was against her last start, so she hasn't forgiven me yet. Any dad?
No.
Probable. Cool. Let's wrap up the day with benchmark 80 over the 1,200 metres, and how are you finishing off here?
I'm going to have a crack at the Billionaire.
Okay.
So about the $4 mark. I think its form this preparation's been really good. Smashed them last start. I know it's stepping out in a little bit of better company here, but was pretty good. Start before that at Ballarat was good, and won its maiden really easy a few starts back. This looks like a pretty open affair. Jamie Carr should get a pretty good run from the 6 gate, and be there when the whips are cracking.
All right, I'll go. The two, I think the market's right. I don't have much to add to the market. Vongalay on top from me. If we can make ground from Cordelia, who's a nice horse resume. He just had no luck all last prep. Probably should have won first up, didn't get out. No luck chasing Shaylo second up, but I think the market reflects that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no real edge to this market. I think they're the two most likely winners. Anything you want to finish on, Trent?
Nothing.
Let's wrap up, and I'll leave Trent out of this part. Let's wrap up your thoughts. Best and Quaddie for best. Do you do the Quaddie in Melbourne?
I'll do my best and value first.
Okay, because it might take you half an hour to do your Quaddie. Best and value.
I'll be making it up. Race 9, number 10, the Billionaire is my best.
Yep.
And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 3, Irish Playboy.
Okay, I'm going to make Probable my best, and my value will be the bracket of Australia and Jude Star, depending on how the track's playing in that race. Do you want to have a crack at a Quaddie, or you can throw out a betting strategy instead?
No, we're going to have a crack at the Quaddie.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
First leg, 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Second leg, we're going to go 2, 3, 6, 7, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Third leg, we're going to go 1, 6, 10 and 11. And in the last leg, we're going to go 2. No, not 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10.
Cool. I'll put up a graphic that tells us what percentage it is because I didn't write it down.
Plenty.
Yeah, okay. And let's head. I've got to plug progroutracing.com.au. Check them out for their extensive guides and free tips, as well as give us if you're watching this, give us a like on YouTube, subscribe and get on board. We've had plenty of good feedback the last few months. And we're also on Spotify and iTunes. You can find us there under Show Us Your Tips. And let's head to Sydney where the Rosehill in the Rail True. As of this morning, the Peno was 4.9. There's supposed to be at 20 mil coming. If it doesn't come, I've got a little bit of concern that it might be dry, very fast track racing and a little bit on pace. If it does come, typical Rosehill Rail True plays okay. Any thoughts on how the track might play, Trent?
Yeah, I think it'll be about a 5. I think we're going to get a little bit of rain, but I don't think they've watered for a while now, thinking the rain was going to come, so I think it'll be pretty dry, and I think it'll be slight on pace, but pretty fair.
Yep, fantastic. So, yeah, you said you've done your own markets. We might get through each one. We might get a bit of a forecast price from you and who might firm as well, I'll even say.
Yeah.
And we'll kick off in the first over the 1900 metres, benchmark 78, where we see, Great House coming out of maybe a bit of a disappointing run first up. How have you approached the first one, Trent?
I think Great House is probably top pick, but is short enough around the even money. Comes back to Rosehill where it was pretty dominant in its win, and does get the blinkers on, which is interesting. There is one I have found here at big odds, and that's Aqua Divina, who sort of just goes around every start and bit of a pack chaser, but she has had 4 weeks off now, and the last time she did that, she had 4 or 5 weeks off. She ran really well, so she gets the blinkers off and also gets Kathy O'Hara off. So I think she'll improve out of sight on Saturday, and at 50-1, I think she'll run a big race.
Very nice, Beaver.
Yeah, I've gone for Great House as well. I was slightly disappointed last start, but if you go back, it did loom up. It probably just ran out of bit of petrol, got well out of its ground. Prior to that, it was very good. I don't think this field is as good as the field it met last start. Actually, I don't think there's much in this at all. When Kiss the Bride's probably 4th favourite, you haven't got much else there. So for that particular reason, I think looks a bit of a standout.
Okay, I'm slightly against it. Just I'm starting to feel it forms a bit hollow through. I think it's probably the obvious pick off the SPs, and it did run well enough behind Yonkers and the horse around second, which are both Saturday horses. This is effectively a midweek
agree with that
race. I'm just going to probably lean towards Toscanini here. The Racing New South Wales map has it sitting outside Dylan's Romance.
Yeah.
It was coming off the group form up in Queensland, which is the Eleonora, and it was pretty good. I know the margin's only small, but it was soft through the line, and gets Tom Marquand on. I think can run well here, more at the each way play from Great House, and I think Welsh Legend. I sort of liked off the trials. I think this is third up's now going to run really well here as well. That's what the market says, so no surprises around that. What price are you expecting for the fave? And
I've marked it 280. So.
And what about the second turn of market?
Welsh Legend and Toscanini, I'm 750 a pair, so I agree with you. That's probably the one. I think maybe Mars down the bottom they might support a bit off a win. Which is something, I guess.
I decided to jump off Mars at Canterbury, so I haven't forgiven it yet.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I think Great House will probably get out a little bit, but start clear favourite.
280 would be nice.
Be backing at 280?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I will. Because I think it's a midweek race, and back to Rosehill, blinkers on, gets a bit more tempo with Dylan's Romance, so yeah, I will.
Producer Mariah's going to go grab us a drink in a sec. At Penrith Golf. Have we plugged Penrith Golf Club yet?
No, we haven't.
We're here at Penrith Golf Club, if you haven't noticed. I was going to make more of that, but I forgot to. So that's okay. Race 2 for progroutracing.com.au. Check them out. So I don't get in trouble for not plugging them as well. The Magic Night for the fillies is race 2 over the 1200 metres. Both these are last chance into the slippers, I'm pretty sure. The Magic Night and the Pango Pango.
Yep.
What do you make of the Queensland form first, Beaver? Tommy Marquand for Annabelle Neesham. Looked a nice win on debut, and then Magic Millions. Is it something you had a look at there? Or?
I had a look at it, but hard to line that up. I think the best horse in Queensland at this is that Sweet Dolly at the moment.
Okay.
couldn't really get a line through that. It was only finished fourth at a few lengths off him at the Gold Coast, so wasn't something that I really found, and I found this race really hard, to be honest. So I didn't really have anything that I really wanted to be on.
Yeah, I'll get to Trent. So just a lot of these met in the lead up where Mallory started $4.80, Robadera started $18, Jamea $11, and all pretty much finished alongside each other. How are you looking at this race, Trent?
I think the map's a big issue here because I can't see any speed whatsoever. So I had Robadera going to the front here, which I think will make it hard to beat. I think it's a strong horse that will be strong late, and if it can lead, it'll be hard to get past. I think Mallory has probably got the best turn of foot in the race, but...
It's out.
Is it?
Yep, Mallory's out.
Oh, okay.
It's running
Fair enough. Is it gone to Kembla?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a few out later if going to Kembla today, but I hadn't seen Mallory out. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, fair enough. That's
Kembla on today.
Yes, yeah, the not the PJ Bell, the other one. Keith Nolan, yes.
Yeah. Must be there.
But yeah, I don't really like the race, to be honest. I think the Melbourne horse is a bit well found here. It was in the worst part of the track, but it's going to be tough to come off a run like that, in my opinion. It's fourth start, first prep, so I'm slightly against it. So not a race I'll be betting in, probably.
Robadera looks like a decent chance, and if Mallory's out.
Yeah. I'm going Blue Diamond form. I'm just going against, and it's against my rules. As Beaver knows, I'm first to pot Melbourne form coming up, but tend to have an exception with 2-year-olds. They tend to travel better than other horses up. Worst part of the track. We've seen the form come out of that Blue Diamond already, and towed up Scorched Earth, who we talked about earlier before that, and was pretty dominant its first 2 wins. And just a race I don't really want to be in. I can probably a little bit forgive Jamea, who loses Brock Ryan, gets Tommy Berry, and potentially sits 3 wide running line, which will suit it better than sort of back to the inside last time.
It's false start as well in the first prep, so I don't think it probably has much left in it.
Yeah, I think missed his chance last week off that. Had the springboard into last week.
It was 1,000 up.
Yeah,
1,200 last week though.
How much if Mallory? If probably your market's irrelevant if Mallory taking that.
I was probably 450 a pair, Mallory and Robadera. So
okay, well then clearly Robadera's a nice bet there. Very good. I think you've summed that up quite well. We get to the boys now in the Pango. Over the 1,200 metres. Do you want to lead us away, Beaver?
Yeah, look, I come up with integrating here. It's not any flash odds, but... Ingratiating, whatever it is, mate. Something like that. My glasses, I've got glare coming off my screen at the moment, mate, so I'll blame that. Look, I think it looks hard to beat in this race. Its form, it hasn't finished out of the top 2 in the last 5 starts. It was pretty impressive last start, and look, it meets a field here that's outside of probably Halal. Doesn't have a lot of substance to their form, so for me, Ingratiating probably looks to be the horse to beat.
Yeah, I went. The angle I've taken is that the President race was no good, so it was easy for me to go through and get rid of a lot of them. Obviously, Halal was probably the runner of that race, so I went back to the Blue Diamond form with Ingratiating, and found it as well. I've spoken about the theory, and I'm happy for Trent to bag me in a couple of minutes. Away from that, Mars, if you're looking for DF, Marzu ran pretty good time on a do. I know it was around Canterbury, which that Conrad's come out and won since at Gosford and was impressive, but I know we're talking Canterbury potential. I can't remember if it was probably rails on that day as well. And there might be more upside to Head of State. J-Mac obviously likes riding for Coolmore. So Ingratiating with maybe a small play on both of those. How about yourself, Trent?
Well, first of all, I can't believe the price of the favourite, to be honest. I think Enemo was a far superior run in the Blue Diamond, and it came out and started open 20 to 1 in. I know it was a stronger race, but 20 to 1 compared to nearly even money. A couple of things with it. It is deep into the prep now, and it gets blinkers off here, so which is a bit of concern for me. Blinkers off, and it's never seen a wet track. It does look like a big, strong type, so it might struggle a bit in the wet, in my opinion.
We don't know about Frosted, do we, really?
I agree with that the President race was no good, but I think that was a disadvantage to Halal. I think a strong, fast-run race is going to suit it here. It's got a good turn of foot and it hits the line well. I think it's top pick. The one I like also is Tiger of Malay, who gets the blinkers on here, sets its form up at Rosehill. And I really like that Freedman camp they're flying at the moment. And it's a little squibby thing that'll get through the wet if it's wet. So, halal from Tiger of Malay.
Very good. I like your analysis. Obviously, Halal came off the Spruik run. I sort of just put two and two together where Slingshot Kenzo into beating in her President race.
I personally think they're going to be aggressive with Halal. I think they'll...
Yeah. The Racing New South Wales map has them back, but I guess we'll pay attention.
I think it's going to go, I think it'll be in the first 4 or 5.
And anything else from the, I guess, all the freshies? There's a lot. I guess there will be pace if Marzu converge. They've got the Boring and True State all going forward.
Yeah.
So
I think Halal's got to go forward.
From 12? Tommy Berry's not a go forward.
No.
Tommy Berry plus Hawks does not equal go forward to me. It equals Chautauqua to me, and it gets beat a lot to me.
But this is their last chance. This is
absolutely.
Yes. Throw everything at it.
And I'll be honest, I don't know. Do you know the Golden Slipper qualifying list of entry? Or?
Well, I'd say it'll have to win. It's only one on midweek.
Yep.
So I'd say it'll have to win.
Question, speaking of Hawks, did you see the trial of Orr?
Yeah, really liked it.
Good try.
Yeah, I think it'll firm up. It's massive.
Well, it was $50. It was $41
I marked
this morning.
it $17, so...
Yeah. I think that was the one unraced that I'm pretty keen that I'll have something on.
But I think it'll either be
might start. It
have
could
one
start,
run and then tip out, or go to like a size or something. So.
They don't. Yeah, well, Hawks don't waste Saturday runs with this when it could have gone around at White
I
Farm.
agree with you.
And that second trial, it just towed Tommy through the line.
Yeah.
So I think it probably starts 20s or less. To be honest, the Sky High is the 2,000 metre Group 3. Where we might spend less time on this. We see Colette very short now. Trent, what have you marked her? Is she going to win?
I've got even money. I think back onto a slightly firmer track's a concern, and I think 2,000 metres is just a completely different ball game. Ever since the Oaks win, that they've just kept it to that sort of 1,400 to 1,600 range, and they came back to that 4-year-old race, whatever it's called.
The Eagle.
That's the one, this is the perfect setup for Toffee Tongue to improve out of sight here. Third up last prep, was beaten a lip by Very Elegant in the Turnbull. So I know her runs this time have been terrible, and which has made me hard to really, really get stuck into her. But if she's going to do something, today's the day. 2,000 suits, back first start at the home track. I can guarantee you there won't be 7 lengths between Colette and Toffee Tongue on Saturday.
Beaver?
Yeah, I kind of think along the same line as Trent. Look, Toffee Tongue looks to be the forgotten horse here, sitting at the $12 mark. I certainly think Toffee Tongue will be beating a few home that are shorter in the market than what it is. Colette, it's hard to go past, right? The form this preparation has been outstanding. The firmer track probably raises the only question mark here if the track was going to be a little bit softer. And
it's
we
ridiculous
don't know that
price, though, isn't it?
$1.55, where you're probably just going to watch it go around. So at that price, but it's a pretty ordinary form race. Chosen One and Spirit Ridge are not Group 1 horses.
What do you say? They've got Spirit Ridge leading with Colette outside lead, which probably gives Rachel King control of the race if she wants it. Toffee Tongue posing up, which is to the advantage, probably can run second from there. I thought the Chosen One was, if not a dangerous one, to run a place, but what's it all mean when it's you're probably going to have a scratching and not be getting place dividends from here?
If Colette got out to even money, I'd probably play it.
Yeah, well, even last night she was $1. I think she was $1.90 last night, which
I don't think she will get out though.
No, they won't. No. They're going to look at it simple. Yeah,
if we get any more rain, she'll probably even firm up.
Yes, off the Golden Eagle. And interesting, no blinkers on all prep for Colette. So whether they're happy with it now, or whether there is that up their sleeve.
Or do they go blinkers back onto a Doncaster after this?
You going Doncaster or Queen Elizabeth?
Both.
Why not both? Yeah, why not both? Might be a roll in the Doncaster if she's getting
blinkers on
down in weight. Let's get to the Group 3. Maurice McCartan over 1,100 metres. I didn't like the race overly. You can lead us away here, Trent.
Love this race. Really like this race. I got Wonderbar top pick.
Okay.
and shorter than she is at the moment. I got a 280. She goes well fresh, likes to sting out of the track. I thought the trials were probably better than leading into last prep. And she's just too honest and too consistent. The one I want to have a really good bet on, though, is Easy Eddie.
Yeah, okay.
It was coming off over a year spell into the last prep where it ran 2 good races on firm tracks. Now comes off an 8-week freshen up, gets Rosehill 1100, which it loves, gets the blinkers back on, which I think is a big plus. I'll be very, very surprised if it doesn't run well. I really like Easy Eddie here.
And what, you get $9 at the moment?
Yeah, massive odds. $4.50.
Beaver?
That's a left field call.
Well,
Its form last 5 starts hasn't finished higher than 7th.
Yep, but that big races there, like lead up to the Everest, and that Canterbury race was lead up to the Magic Millions. This horse is at its best I reckon got a few lengths on these.
Okay, good call. Got me interested. Look, I landed on Wonderbar. I thought the trials were pretty good. We know it flies fresh. 3 first up runs for 3 wins. Look, it's drawn perfectly well. I think it's going to be really hard to beat Mugger 2 in a trial. It's got to be the horse to beat in this. So I'm going to probably play Wonderbar.
Sounds like all of it, which I agree with, all of us are against the Order of Command, who's taking up more than 20% of the market there.
Yeah.
I'll be contrary and just say I like California's Inbolt. Chased home, I lost him running. 2 trials, wasn't knocked around really. Snowden Camp's back on track after a very ordinary, 3 months, maybe longer.
Yeah.
First up last prep, just missed a lip behind Villami, who would all probably be pretty keen on if she was running here around Rosehill. Then went down to Caulfield, beat Fatus, who we know.
Had all the favours that day, but
It did have a rail in its favour that day. And I don't know, can't get my head around Wonderbar. I sometimes get a bit lost with all those Australian bloodstock colours, feeling like the same horse. And what's its other one? There's the other sprinter that's in the same colours that does nothing. Can't remember. It'll come to me when we're having lunch. I had 3 looks at Super at hundreds. Like, what did you mark at hundreds?
Sorry, what horse?
Super
500 to 1.
Okay, fair enough. I'll probably have 2 each way at $1.50, so at 150, so that's fine. Let's get to the Group 3 Far Lap Stakes. Just because I just didn't like the race. What do we got here? Yeah, this is, again, less than inspiring affair. Far Lap Stakes over the 1,500 metres, Group 2. It's funny that the biggest race in Australia Far Lap gets is a Group 2 for shitty 3-year-olds, but anyway. How do you approach the market here when it's full of Melbourne form, and what have you found, Trent?
I actually went looking for the Melbourne form. I really don't like the Hungry Heart lead up.
And Eliza Build, Darling Diamond, Pipperley, Chase My Crown, all at Kembla today.
Yeah. Which sort of is going to throw things into...
Yeah. Yep.
It's a bit of spinner in the works, but Impecunious for me was probably the top pick. I think it's just got a lot more to offer. From what it's done so far, I wouldn't be too keen, but I think it can improve a few lengths. A little bit of sting out suits. Bossy's probably a little bit of a query, but I like it. I think Yaletown Gay Waterhouse is probably the danger. It'll come straight across to the front, and it was strong later, albeit at Canberra, but it'll just keep fighting here, and I'll be surprised if it doesn't run first 4.
Yep. Beaver?
Yeah, Impecunious for me. I tipped it last start. I think I made it my best bet of the day.
It was a tragedy to watch last start.
And it was a tragedy to watch last start. Prior to that was pretty good. Didn't have a lot of luck first up and still won, having to duck and weave. Look, $5 mark. I think it's a nice play in a race like this. I'm surprised it's not favourite.
I thought it was favourite.
Oh, it's equal favourite with Poland at around the $5 mark. But, the market's sort of $10 the field type thing. First 6 or 7 in the market are 10s and under. So there's a bit of value there. But I tend to agree with Trent Impecunious that brought to Sydney, and I think this might be a good race for it.
I'll make it a clean sweep. I agree. Dominant first up. It is bossy in Sydney, but should have won in a fast clear run race behind Yes, But Yes Baby Yes. Yes, would be good form for this race. From the Irishman, who started off for Newnham, Warwick Farm win, but that was almost a Saturday race with Saigon and the horse that ran third. It was a nice horse as well. Petronius, who we just spoke about. So, for me, those are the two. Embolism was maybe close to run the race in the Australian Guineas. And I'm with Trent. Anything with Hungry Heart form, I'm penning now. Barring, we're about to talk about it within the Group 1, but barring winner in that race, I don't want to deal with that race again. Let's talk about the Coolmore Classic over the 1,500 metres, won by the likes of Appearance. Typhoon Tracy last year was Conte Tapiro, was it? Conte Tapiro. That's the one. He went to America and did not much. And before that was the two Ronnie Quinton sisters, Daisy Doom and
Dixie Blossom.
So Ken threw up a roughie here. I was there the day. Of course, Ken came down outside at whatever price for Kathy to win her first Group 1. So Ken threw up a roughie. Fillies and mares, big field, probably pace on. How are you looking at this? Lead us away, Trent. Give us an idea of your market and how you're playing.
I've got Charlot favourite, the Melbourne horse, who I just think's got a bit of upside. That was an enormous win first up, wasn't it?
And you know the thing about it, it was $8 into $3.
Yeah.
And we were both keen on it at $8. And when I think they've finally got it right.
Yeah.
I think was hence the money for it.
There was a horse in the same connections that came to this race last year that I backed. Bonito or something like that.
Bonito or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Bonite or something like that. That ran fourth and ran well. But I just think this horse has got one of the better turn of foots in the race. It will be in the second half, if not towards the tail of the field, but the speed will be on, and I think it can get over the top. The one I want to have a good bet on, though, is All Sense Eve, who I think sets up well here. Unbeaten second up, was against the boys on the worst part of the track on the inside. Can sit midfield here and sort of weave its way through. It'll probably need a little bit of luck at the right time, but all of them will. They're the two that I want to play, Charlot and All Sense Eve. And if the rain stays away, then Subpoenaed, I think, is absolutely flying at the moment. That can run well.
How much work did you have to do to mark a Melbourne horse favourite?
A little bit, but just the fact that it's only had 7 starts.
Yeah.
Looking at horses like Mizzy, Sweet Dill, Madame Rouge, Ice Bath, Rilliman Ruby, they're all just going around. Yep. So it was just the upside and the dominance of its win that sort of just let me to straight away 550.
Great. Beaver.
Yes, I'm a little bit similar to Trent. I really loved Chalet's first up win. We were all over it. Didn't disappoint. However, it did that last prep as well, I think. Was really strong first up and ran an amazing race. And then
I was unlucky second up, but
was unlucky second up. You will need a little bit of luck. Drawn 13, and even though it's going to go back, so you're going to need to be able to run on from the back of the field by this time of the day, and hopefully you will. $7.50, I think, is a good price, certainly in a field like this. But I certainly had it well in my market and Subpoenaed. I didn't tip it first up purely because of the wet track, and it won sensationally. So I'll probably be playing that as well. So they're the two that I've come up with. Put a line through horses like Ice Bath. I think it's been really disappointing so far, this preparation. Madame Rouge and some of the others.
I like Shayla as well. I think it's at each way price there. It's a great bet. Declan Bates has one job from gate 13. It's just get to the outside at the top of the straight. Pretty simple outline for him. Away from that, I don't like any of the form, but it did tail out form by 3 lengths. Forbidden Love, you have to give a chance. Nash in a Group 1. He's chosen to get off a horse he's stapled to in Sweet Deal to ride this. I think according to Racing New South Wales, third defence, which...
I think he's riding at 54.5.
He's riding at 54.5. That's a tip in itself, because I can't remember last time.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He might be having a lot of smokes during the day, but he can have a feed afterwards and suck on a lemon afterwards. So, good question to be hungry Nash by then. I can't imagine him being buried third defence. I think he'll take up a more positive spot than Racing New South Wales have him.
Well, I was surprised how far back it got last start, actually. I thought
but it did explode when it got away, but they were, I think, a bunch of walkers. It's been proven now.
Yeah.
It must be said, I think Crone is flying.
Yeah.
Gate 1...
It's big odds it can't start that price, can it?
At $18, I'll be backing it at whatever, probably 20s. I think it probably starts short just because it's off Mara for win against most of these. And we've mentioned Shalo, the other one at big odds. Who I'll see what it gets out to. Emerald, just because I seem to have a soft spot for it, but it was pretty disappointing last start. I think it covers it there. Not interested in Mizzy last week on pace. No. Sweet Deal can run better. Second up. Tommy Mark 1. Maybe too much pace for it. But yeah, I think we're all in the ground. Shalo probably the main bet for us all out of that. The Ajax Stakes over 1,500 metres. Lead up to the Doncaster Group 2 quality handicap. Where there is a bit of pace. We see Buffalo River come up and probably have to match modes with Grey Worms. The New South Wales Maps has Buffalo leading. I am going to back Rock off the trial. I really like the trial. Tommy Berry sitting outside Crydeiris according to the map. I just looked at Crydeiris and thought gate 1, I don't know where you get to this stage in this sort of field. Obvious in the lead up, but and may win by 3 and I'll be wrong, but just having something on Rock, I might be going for a run early. Grand final camp in the Hawks might be looking more for the Doncaster than this. Yeah. But
It's not up to that class, is it?
No, I don't know.
Probably not. It's already read. Well, Redden would have run the Epsom 7th. Yeah.
I reckon it's more of a Hawkesbury Scone Cup type of horse.
Yeah, that's right.
Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or is that,
but what's in this race? It's not. No,
well, Buffalo River, for me, I haven't tipped it in the first 2 runs this prep, but I'm tipping it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it gets good control up front. I think it's certainly going to be hard to beat. The first 2 runs, it comes back 100 in distance, probably gets the right run here. Crydeiris, I've been all over in the last 4 starts, and I've had a gutful. Just keeps telling me to keep backing it, and I keep losing on it. So I'm going to switch to Buffalo River on the hope that it just gives Crydeiris just gives it too fast start and can't run it down.
Does James? Yeah, I love Buffalo River, but I just thought Grey Worm's probably more of a pest to it here.
I think Grey Worm will take the sit behind it.
You reckon just pull it? Well,
it did last start.
It does what it's told, I suppose. So that's what the stewards have it doing. So how'd you mark the mark?
Well, I had 2 hopes. I thought Crydeiris was around that 280 mark, and I really went looking for Buffalo River. I marked it 350.
Yep.
And I thought I was going to be a genius, thinking it was going to come up, $6 or $7, but it's short enough at its price.
Favourite, isn't it?
Crydeiris 260.
360.
Yeah.
360. I was the same as you. I did the form thing, it'd be $8 and I want to back it.
Yeah, I was going to be all over it at $6 or $7. Just, it went so fast last start and held on okay in the worst part of the track. Nash goes to the front, loves the wet track if we get any rain. I just think it's going to be so hard to get past. And
J-Mac's on.
Oh, J-Mac. Yeah,
Nash
J-Mac.
on Mr. Seawolf.
Well, that not much of a change there anyway.
Yeah.
J-Mac, it'll just be, off and gone at the 300 in my opinion.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And I think it drifts, and I'll probably back it. I think it's out to $6.
I think I'm in the same boat.
Because
it won't be $6, no chance.
City Market will
throw it out.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to swear on Pro Group Racing. City Market tends to poo-poo a lot of these. Melbourne, they just get rid of them early.
Yeah.
I Am Superman off what I thought was a less than inspiring ride by Karen first up. Any hope here?
Don't like the horse at all.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I'm with you. I think Rock's probably the 3rd pick.
Yeah,
it'll just get back, run on, and get on next start, and do that every start this prep probably.
Probably join Crydeiris in that group. The last is the Celebrations Handicap over 1350. Benchmark 88, where I'll lead us away. I I like Star Spangled Radio. I think
How did I know you were going to say
dominant
that?
win. I've tipped at every start this prep. I only backed at one of them, and it was the one that didn't win.
First one.
I don't want to talk about Canterbury. Positives up here. There's only two hopes for me. Star Spangled Radio from Yao Dash with Nash going back on from gate 16. It might be the last race. Nash just going Zot, unless he's really hungry and has given up by then. I think they're the two. I'm not interested in the bush form, not interested in much away from that. The only other one that I will throw in a quaddie is Bullfinch, who showed a little bit of pace in the trial just because it's DF and Jason Cordon. Might be better than these, but I that'll be the end of my day for me. Grand Piano used to be a horse I used to like, but you can't back Steve O'Halloran, so that's my day there. I'm hoping we're ahead by this stage. Beaver, what are you doing?
Yeah, I come up with Yao Dash. I think it's certainly got good enough form to win this race. A little bit concerned about the draw. It's drawn in the car park, which worries me a little bit, but it's probably why you're getting around the $657 mark, and you'll probably get that on the day. This is kind of like a midweek race, I think. Yeah, you can't get me on a horse like Bound to Win, although it was reasonably good last start. Prior to that, not great. And then Zakat put a line through. It's had its chances, first two chances, first and second up. And outside of that, there's not much else in the race.
Trent?
I've got it $7 a field here. Open, tough race. You say it's a midweek race, and Holyfield's coming off, Group 1 3-year-old form, so it's got to be competitive. It doesn't get the right map or setup, but it's probably the best horse in the race by a long way here. A couple, I think Lena's Hero sets up better here. Second up goes well. Barrier 4, Waller will probably ride it more forward and get it into the race a bit. I agree with you with Bullfinch. I love that trial, show a bit of speed. And they went straight past it, but it was hard held and kept coming on the line, so I thought that was good. And My Gold Bracelet as well, Melbourne horse, but if a bit of rain comes, second Australian prep, could improve. Star Spangled Radio, big win at Rosehill last start. I've got it $7 as favourite, but whether can it put two together?
We'll find out. I'm saying there was run of the race first up when I don't know why they went back. Should have won it second up where I don't know. I don't want to talk about that race. And then third up
was pretty good.
Was bolted in.
What about a horse like Nudge here first up?
No, not for me.
Accession?
It
just looks an impossible race to me.
I just get it's an impossible race, right? You could pick 10 and still miss out.
All those Star Thoroughbred fillies, they're all the same horse again.
It was coming off a long break and was the worst part of the track.
No, I'm not going to overcomplicate myself. I think Nash Gate 16 either goes forward and wins this by 3, and everyone just slots in behind him and follows the leader, or Star Spangled. But I do like the cases you've made away from that. Impy, your old mate Beaver, you had enough of it now?
Yeah, gone.
Finally got that out of your system.
Yep.
Yeah, they should send it to Paul Massara. You'd be really happy. Let's wrap up our thoughts at Rosehill. Beaver, lead us away, your best and value.
My best comes up in race 8, number 7, Buffalo River. And my value comes up in race 6, number 9, Impecunious.
Now, Trent's going to help me with the quaddie because he said he wants to have...
Have you got a best or value, Trent?
Oh, that's right. Do it. You go.
Not really. My biggest bet will probably be Easy Eddie.
Yep.
Who I think is going to run really well. All Sense Eve and even Aqua Divina in the first.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Let's go, Quaddie.
I will make... Well, I feel like a cop it now. My best will be Colette, but I feel really dirty saying that. I'll give you one else. Keen Charlo. Charlo won't miss a place in that race. Value Toscanini, which is ironically shorter than Charlo. So play the other two. And I like that last race, Star Spangled and Yardash. Quaddie. So Trent, step in or kick some out if you want to follow through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 9. Oh, 7's out, so just take that one out.
What were they? 1, 2, 3.
Poland, Embolism, The Irishman, Bazooka. Let's put Yaletown in instead of Elizabeth and Epicunious in.
Yep.
We've covered our chances there. Leg 2.
Left any out?
No, they're all scratched. Leg 2 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 13 and 14. Happy to leave...
we're banning ice bath.
Yeah.
Banning ice bath. What about Madame Rouge? Madame Rouge,
Yeah, it can go too.
The only thing with Madame Rouge is that Subpoenaed was a 10 length better run than it against each other.
Yeah.
I would like to add All Saints Eve.
Okay, well, take Rouge and Subpoenaed out and put All Saints in.
No, leave Subpoenaed in.
Okay.
Ice bath.
Ice bath and Rouge out.
And the only other one is right down the bottom, Vangelic.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I had him in and it's Kathy, so I took her out.
Well, what weight's it got?
50.
Who else can ride it?
Me.
I'm trying to think. I think they're all engaged.
Leave it out
That's
if you like. Leave it out.
No, leave it out.
Just
Leave it out.
we'll leave her out. Be the bunny.
Waterhouse as
the
well.
Ajax.
Waterhouse. Hurry, you've got to
6,
leave it
7, 11 for me. Rock, Buffalo, Weaver, Crideris.
Yeah.
out. Yep.
And home with 1, 6, 13. So Yao Dash, Star Spangled, and I've thrown Bullfinch in. I like your case you made for Holyfield, so feel free to throw Holyfield in there as well.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Between scratchings and out, $50 get you about 11%.
You'll post it up.
It'll be up there. Probably not because we're about to have lunch and I'll just post it straight away.
Yeah.
But I'll put it in the comments below. Beyond that, thanks for joining us, Trent.
No, thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed yourself and
Sure did.
good to chat some racing. We need to talk about Queensland because Beaver's going to...
His summary was good. Let's see how good his tips are.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got good storytellers on a Friday.
That's it.
Queensland, what have you got for us?
It's a heavy 46 or something up there.
Is it really?
So I'm going to...
How'd they go? Can we bar Eagle Farm as well?
What about Canberra?
What was it the other day? The inside was gone as well, wasn't it?
They had to move the rail out 4 metres after the second.
I'm glad I was at work that
I
day.
got some winners there, but right? Race 4, number 2, Ligulate.
Yeah.
Tipped it before. Race 5, one of my favourites up there, number 5, Socialising.
Yep. That's flying.
Race 6, number 7, Sweet Dolly will be winning.
What price is that? You want to keep tipping in a
No, you
slipper?
just get on.
You want to talk about it?
Just get on.
How come it hasn't come down to Sydney?
I don't know.
He thinks he's going to win the slipper
I know, he still does.
Why can't it?
because there's better horses.
Let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Okay.
They might bring it down.
They might.
That'll do. Just all up those and just get in the queue.
You got something else for us away from the main places, Trent?
No.
Had a look at where's tomorrow, Newcastle or Canberra? I haven't even looked at the
Not that
provincial.
desperate,
I
mate.
think it's
All right,
Gosford.
you've got $100 to spend, Beaver.
Yep.
Do that.
I'll go 50 on Billionaire
Okay.
to win and 50 on Buffalo River. Just going 50 on each of my
Trent,
best bets.
$100 to spend in Sydney.
Okay.
You do yours way he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have 50 on Probable, about the 440, pending whatever comes out. If a Katie Hing Queen comes out, so around 220 there. 50 on the all up. The Blue Colours treble, Ingratiating, Colette and Arcade at around $640. So I don't generally do that, Beaver, but I've
I reckon there's a chance
put the
they
foot down the wicket.
could all go down there.
Cool.
Yeah, I reckon.
I'll see you on the fair. And just because footy season's back, and I threw it out the other day, but the 5 short price favourites in the footy are paying $5. Para, Roosters, Penrith, Canberra, Cronulla will all win, and you get about for $50. You get about $260 out of that.
Cronulla.
As tipped on the Footy and Frothies show on the Wednesday.
My
do you got for
$100, I'll have 50 on Easy Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have 25 the Place Aqua Divina, and I'll have 25 on Toffee Tongue to get over the top of Colette.
Oh, very nice. I like it. Aggressive. Thank you, boys. Check out progroupracing.com.au for their free tips and extensive guides. Plenty of news stories going on as we head towards the championships. Good job, mate. Good debut.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Beaver.
Bye. No worries, mate.
We will see everyone Tuesday night for our midweek preview. And until then, good luck tomorrow and take care.